We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hassani, and you're tuning in to the Couples Academy Show. We want to know who you are and where you're dialing in from, what city, what state, what country, what part of the world. This is a place where we come together to hang out for about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. It just depends on the day. We're talking about love, life, relationships, and everything that pertains to you. We've been in the series that we picked up from the previous week, where we were talking about micro cheating. And, I think it's a perfect time to kind of transition, still connected and attached, but transition the conversation a bit, not just explaining what it is and why it is the way it is, but, what did your spouse find in the affair partner? That's the big question. There's a comparison that's oftentimes made where you're thinking about who he chose, who she chose, and how they line up to you. And what was it about her? What was it about him? And we're going to take the time to unpack that before we get started. Listen, Last Chance Weekend is coming up April the 8th through the 10th. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time and don't know what that is, because oftentimes we get these discovery calls and I'm like, yeah, I think I heard something about it last year, but I don't really know what it is. So watch this really quick and we'll be right back to get started with our conversation. All right, guys, we're back. That was the Last Chance Weekend. We're excited because that is the place where life begins. The life as you know it, the marriage as you know it, comes to an end in order for something brand new to begin. And if that's what you're looking forward to, then you need to get it. Here we are in spring where things are blooming and blossoming, and we're in a new season. What a perfect timing to experience spring in your marriage. Remember we were talking about the 4 seasons? Spring, summer, winter, fall. Spring, summer, winter, fall, summer, right? Some of you are in your fall season, some of you are in your winter season, but you desperately want to get out but don't know how. That is why we encourage you, to do it. Here you are on the precipice of greatness, and you have an opportunity to show up in an amazing way by doing something that will be transformational for your life and for your marriage. So reach out to us, set up a discovery call so we can get deeper into a conversation about how we can assist you. But in the meantime, we're talking about, this topic, what your spouse found in the affair partner. I alluded to something called the dangerous partner profile. It's a concept that may be new to some of you, but I've flirted with that topic probably for about a year now. And I said at some point that I would do a deep dive into what that is. And so this is the series that we're going to take our time with, because I want us to chew on it. I want us to understand it. This is where most people get stuck. Beyond the what is the why. And a part of that why is, why her? Why him? What was I not doing that he or she did? What am I not that he or she is? What don't I have that he or she does? These are the questions. And oftentimes this causes a person's self-esteem to plummet. No matter how beautiful a person may be handsome, no matter how successful they got it all put together, no matter how often they dot their I's and cross their T's and they're efficient and got it going on. When an affair happens, it's just a mystery. It doesn't make sense. Everything was going so well. I thought that I thought that I did, I thought that, and then this happens. So we want to take our time and kind of delve into this to unpack it in a powerful way. And so what I want to first do is start off with just a basic understanding of what this dangerous partner profile is. So it is someone you have an immediate and passionate attraction for. And the thing is, we don't hold the same attraction for every person. And so what attracts you to one person is oftentimes different than what attracts you to someone else. And I think that's so critically important to understand, because oftentimes the affair partner can represent someone who's completely different, who's completely opposite of your spouse. And so the question is, so that's what you like? I'm short, you like tall. I'm light, you like dark. I'm thin, you like thick. You know, all of these comparisons. I mean, so that's what you really want. See, that's what you. I don't know. I just may not be what you want, and that is not true. It's almost like, if I could simplify it, I'm not trying to trivialize it, but if I can simplify it, I love the Bentley. I love it. I love it. It's a phenomenal luxury car, but I also love an SUV, right? The Cadillac Escalade SUV. I love that vehicle. I have a couple that we work with, and every time they pull into the driveway, I'm like, man, that car right there, or that truck. And so liking or being attracted to one thing doesn't cancel out the attraction you may have for something else, okay? So that's not what I've always wanted, and I just chose you because. No, you can be attracted to many things. Blue is my favorite color. I have a lot of blue, but I also have a little bit of red and a little bit of green and a little bit of pink. So the point is, you don't have to be one-dimensional, if you will, in your attraction for a thing. Being attracted to and then pursuing an attraction are two different things. So I want to draw that distinction because I think it's critically important to understand that. And so when it talks about the idea of you can be attracted to different things for different reasons, like for instance, I'm attracted to my spouse, I'm giving examples, because of her beauty. Oh my God, my spouse is so beautiful. My spouse is so intelligent. I'm attracted to my spouse because he's such a provider and he's such a good father and he has this great physique. But the affair partner, there was something uniquely different. There was a different attraction. If there was a physical attraction, what I was attracted to the affair partner about was this. Whatever it may be, which may be completely different than your spouse. But it does not mean, and I'm just here to explain. Now, a lot of people come and they put on a lens of morality and ethics in this conversation, and I want you to remove it because it doesn't fit in the context of what we're talking about. We're helping you to understand the why, okay? Why? What was it about that particular person? Don't attach morality to it because we already know that it's wrong. It's sin. It's an egregious offense. It's a betrayal. What we're trying to do is get into the inner workings of what was going on in the mind of the individual that pursued or allowed the pursuit to take place. Okay? And so if we're talking about physical attraction, maybe that may be a person's beauty, a person's body, their smile, their eyes, their hair. You know, it could be something like that. Sometimes there's an emotional attraction that you have for the person. Maybe it's something about their personality, right? Maybe their personality is just so powerful and alluring it drew you in. Their sense of humor. They always have a tendency of making you laugh. Maybe they have this take charge disposition that's so attractive to you. Maybe they have this fun-loving spirit that's so refreshing, and that's what drew you in. Maybe it's a social attraction, right? They're interested in sports. Man, oh my God, I can't believe you like the Broncos too. I love the Broncos. Or maybe there are activities, hobbies that this person engages in that you really enjoy. The attraction could be anything. And I think oftentimes most people assume that it has to be a physical attraction, that it has to be something physical that drew a person in. And interestingly enough, we talk about this all the time, because there has been an evolution of infidelity where it started off very sexually transactional and has transformed into something that's more relational. It's easy how an affair can be formed, which the origin of it wasn't a strong physical pull. It was something else. Because we're in close proximity, we're building relationship, there's a chemistry, there's a connection. Over the course of time, you get familiar with, you begin to know, you connect. And that's why this is so dangerous. And that's why micro-cheating is something that we have to take very serious. Because as long as we're not doing it, it's not really cheating, is it? But what you're doing is you're building a foundation for something that could be disastrous. And so this is why we want to be conscious of what this dangerous profile is. Now, let me just say this, because we're going to take our time with this. Everybody has a dangerous partner profile. Whether you have engaged in an affair or not, we all have a dangerous partner profile. Now, interestingly enough, the dangerous partner profile is someone you can have an instant attraction for, but would never pursue in a relationship. And there are reasons why you would never marry this person. Maybe there's an attraction there, but there's no real financial stability. So I couldn't see being a life partner with this person because financially, mounds of debt, bad credit, can't keep a job. So for those particular reasons, this just would never work. Maybe there is a family or relational dynamic that they have that makes their whole situation unappealing. Maybe they come from, I don't know, the other side of the tracks they've been through. They're a broken household. There's just a lot going on. They have 1,001 issues, and you're like, man, I'm attracted to this over here, but all of that, no, I can't pursue that. That wouldn't work. Maybe it's a religious or belief system issue. I'm a Christian, you're a Muslim, our worlds would never work. I'm a believer, you're an atheist. I just don't see how life together could ever work, but I can't deny the attraction. So the dangerous partner profile represents someone that you are attracted to, but would never choose as a life partner. Now, you may be in a short-term affair, even a long-term affair, and that long-term affair can live in the shadows of your marriage. But in terms of a commitment and doing life with and making you my primary, no, it just couldn't work. Let's go a little bit further. A dangerous partner profile is a person who represents composites of individuals in your life that you may have once admired, have been attracted to, and you find those composites in that person. Or maybe this person represents the deficits that you have in your own marriage, right? So now we're delving into the marital void. If you remember, we're talking about the 4 types of an affair, right? You have the one-night stand, you have emotional entanglement, you have sexual compulsion, and then you have the marital void. And so when there are deficits in your relationship, because you're not showing up a certain type of way, or your spouse is not showing up a certain type of way, this individual represents what you're missing or lacking in your connection. And so maybe there's something unique about them. Like, let's just say, and I'm just going to give scenarios. Your spouse is a planner. Everything's got to just be planned and scheduled, and you know what? They don't like surprises, and you can't do anything that bucks up against this well planned, spelled out schedule. And it's just like, good God. This particular person, what makes you attracted to them is that, man, they're just so spontaneous. Like, they love surprises. They just have a very, hey, let's get up and go. Let's just make it happen. And there's something about that that draws you in because you've been wanting to experience that for a long time, but the dynamic of your relationship doesn't allow you to do it, right? You like surprises. Your spouse is not into that. They're not into receiving them or giving them. But something about, oh my God, you got me a candy bar? Oh my God, wow, thank you. It's my birthday. How did you even know? I didn't even... Like, so those are the things that kind of draw us in. Intimate conversation. Now think about this. We talked about this before. The average couple engages in about 4 minutes of conversation a day, folks. A day. And usually that conversation is broken up at the most inappropriate times of the day. Early in the morning and late at night when we're coming home from an exhaustive day at work, and then we're spent. And you know, we used up all our words and we had nothing really to say other than what's for dinner and how are the kids and, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay that bill next week, I promise, right? And so they're very surface in terms of what they engage in. However, with this dangerous partner profile, let's just say it's somebody at work, because we know that the workplace is a hotbed for infidelity. Here I am, I'm working with Sarah. Sarah is in an office right next to me, or the cubicle right next to me, or maybe we're on the same team. And from the time I get in the office to the time I leave, me and Sarah work together. We're work partners. We're working on projects, we're struggling through things. In the middle of talking about the details of what we're doing, hey, how was your weekend? And hey, did you see the TV? Did you see the Oscars? So it's a mixture of professional and personal, and we're engaging. And all of a sudden, Sarah becomes just a part of my life because I work with her. I spend the majority of my day at work. Sarah's a part of that, and boom. Can you see how the relationship can form? Could you see how intimate conversations can be had? These are the things that happen. Now, am I saying that men and women should operate and function and only work in their own same gender silo? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you've got to place boundaries and borders and parameters and have a relational code of ethics and a shared value system with your spouse as to what is and what is not appropriate, so issues don't continue to creep up in your relationship that can compromise the integrity of your marriage. Guys, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. The dangerous partner profile. So oftentimes you don't see it coming. It is not like you are in pursuit of, on the lookout for, seeking to find. No. And this is why we have to be more careful and more vigilant, and we have to watch and pray, because if we are not consciously aware, things like this will happen, and I don't know how it happened. It just happened. It was a mistake. And every decision, every thought, every interaction, every conversation, you have to be aware of the possibilities of what can be. Guys, we're just getting started. I told you we're going to take our time with this because this goes so deep. We're just scratching the surface. So stay right there. You're watching the Couples Academy show. Be right back. If you're a man and you have a pulse, then you need to join this program. You're a husband. You're a father. You're a leader. You have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have to be everything for everyone, but do you know who and how to be for you? You're still in search of your own significance. You're in internal battle with your own vices. You're questioning, do I even know what it means to be a man? I know I'm supposed to be there for others, but what about me? The fact is, you need a model. You need a code to live by, a system of principles to govern your life. You need an internal compass to guide your every decision. You need the 4 securities to build your own kingdom. What you need is the foundry. In short, a foundry is a facility where castings are produced by melting metal, pouring liquid metal into a mold, and then allowing it to solidify. Well, this is where we're testing the metal of men. Foundry is a 12-week men's-only coaching program. It is a brotherhood that will take each man through a purification process of the heart, mind, and soul. We here at Couples Academy promise you that if you give us 12 weeks of your life, you will no longer recognize it. If you care about the improving of your life, your marriage, and your family, register today. That's right, guys. Foundry. See, that's what happens when you're not a producer. But Foundry, we are starting a new class April 20th. I tell you, man, we're excited every single day. We wake up in the morning, we connect with these brothers, having deep dive, transformational conversations. There's aha moments. There's like, oh my God, I never thought about that. I never saw it like that. There's something that happens when men get alone in their own social space. There's a collective intelligence and wisdom, and there's a positive peer pressure, and there's shifts in perspectives, changes in behaviors, which ultimately impact the marriage. So if that's you, you need to get up in here. Stop messing around. April 20th, here we come. All right, guys, let me just quickly address those who are here. Shalice, good morning. Derek, JJ, Ralph, Angel, Jackie, Gonzalez, VTF, LO, Lisa, Facebook user. The list goes on and on. I'm not going to go through all the names, but family, we appreciate you for tuning in. I'm going to go through a couple comments. JJ says, trying to figure out what the woman my husband cheated with has affected my mental health a lot. Like, what does she have that I don't? Here's the reality. The dangerous partner profile could be almost a replica of you in many ways. And that is an attraction. I'm attracted to you. She's similar. I'm attracted to her. Think about Kanye West's, I don't know if he's still with her, but his current girlfriend. I'm like, I had to do a double take. I'm like, is that Kim? They got back together? Almost identical. And I'm just like, really, dude? You went for the same exact person? And so sometimes that happens, but sometimes it's about finding somebody who is opposite. It's not that you are lacking. It's not about what you're not bringing, who you not are. It's about different. Once again, I've been telling you guys, oftentimes when people engage in affairs, it's not like there's something wrong with you, but there is a search for new and different. We had something new 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's become stale. And there's this desire for new. And the desire for new can put you in situations where you experience new. Right? There's this desire for something different. Because, that's just like, something different. And so you're not consciously pursuing someone different. But when you experience something different in someone different, that could be the thing that draws us away. And I think it's important to understand that, because you will rack your brain and you will slip into a depression and have all types of struggles if you don't understand what I'm saying. So in essence, take it off of you. Hear this in the right context. This is not about you. Oftentimes when people say they have affairs, they say, babe, it wasn't you, it was me. Believe them. Now that may sound cliche-ish, that may sound like a cop-out, but in many respects, that's exactly what it is. Let's continue with this conversation. The dangerous partner profile, once again, this person defies all training, all logic, all common sense, all values that you may have. We see this often, where a Republican somehow is connected to a Democrat. Now, completely different views. They're on the opposite end of the political scale, if you will. They don't agree on anything. But politics is what they don't talk about, because they already know we're at odds with that. But this attraction, I can't get beyond what this thing is. And I'm willing to put your political views aside to pursue whatever this may be. I'm an Arab. You're a Jew. What? Historically, that never happens. That is destructive. That could lead to all types of issues. These people have been at war with each other for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. How can I ever? But there's just something beyond the faith tradition that draws me in. You see this one all the time. A professional, 6-figure salary, boss woman with her own this and her own that. and somehow she's connected to some dude who can't keep a job, or vice versa. The very successful man, he's made it, and he goes into a bar or he goes into a restaurant and picks up the waitress or the bartender. Their economic financial status is nowhere near one another, but beyond that, none of it matters, because there's an attraction that they can't figure out how to get beyond, and something else is drawing them together. How about this? Dude, he's 65 years old. You're 32. He could be your father. What is it about him? What is it about him? Of all people? What? We see this happen all the time. Or people who are in physical shape. They seem to be healthy and attractive, but somehow are connected to people who are more, just complete opposites. Like if you saw them together, you would never think that this couple could ever be. One's beautiful, one's ugly, one's fit, one's fat, whatever it is. These are complete polar opposites. And so when you look at this, you're like, how in the world? I could never. But there was something else. There was something deeper that created this attraction. And it doesn't make logical sense to the outside world. To the physical eye, it's inconceivable. But there's something else there that is happening. And I think it's important to begin to peel back the layers and stop looking at things in such a simplistic way. It's not just physical, guys. It's just not. There's so many other layers to this, and until you understand this, it's going to be a struggle. Shalise says, since D-Day, we realized that we lost all intimacy without even realizing it. We were caught up in life and forgot about us. In his emotional affair, he says he found conversation and spirituality. Wow. And they were attracted to each other, so that sexual energy was in the air. I am still so broken by this, but I try every day to get better, but I still feel like a failure. And so my heart goes out to you, because I understand how you could be feeling that way. Their connection is a replacement for what you two once had. And since D-Day, it seems like the intimacy just fell. And now you've internalized it, and now you walk around feeling like a failure. And this is why we say, affairs are so devastating. It's so devastating to the mind, to the heart, to the emotions, to the psychology of an individual. It can literally suck the life out of them. And so we want to put life back into you. And so my question is this: are you getting help? What are you doing? There's got to be something that you're engaged in to fill you up, to build up your confidence and your esteem, to let you know that it's not you. It's not you. I have seen some amazing people live in the shadow of their own existence because of what has happened to them. And I'm thinking, you cheated on her? What? You cheated on him? What were you thinking? Right? So I understand that. And so these incredible people who are on top of the world drop down to the ground because of what has occurred. But I want to let you know that there's transformation after betrayal. There is transformation. There is healing. There is a newness. There is a new lease for life. There is purpose and passion and fulfillment and intimacy and connection with your partner after an affair. Oftentimes, as I always say, affairs take place because of something going on inside of the person. Nothing to do with you. Inside of the person, or inside of the relationship of which you are a part of. And so in that process, we help to determine what that is and help to get you both back in alignment and back on track. And so guys, we're talking about this dangerous partner profile. I told you, we're going to take our time with this because there's so many layers. There's 8 components of it. We haven't even gotten to component number 1. We've just given you an overview. So guys, we're going to end our show today. I hope this was helpful to lay a foundation. If this was interesting to you, if this was insightful to you, please do me a favor. Just share it with someone else. We want this message to get out because there's so many people who are hurting, who need help, and they can tune in every single morning to get a dose that will help get through the day. You're watching the Couples Academy show. See you in the morning, guys. Love you so much.